live from the City of Angels. Let's go. It's Sunday night. I got to get up before I get down. I'm going off tonight. The worst films of 2024. One of the worst years ever for cinema. Get ready. It's time to watch lots of terrible clips. I have found clips from every film in our worst 10 films of 2024. So if you haven't seen them, you'll be able to watch just a bit of it. And I've even found some of the scenes that were the worst scenes in these worst movies. So this is going to be an epic stream. And let me tell you, anytime I start showing clips, I get demonetized. They go, you can't do that, Weber. You can't. It's not allowed. And I say, too fucking bad. I'll play what I want. But the thing is, if you're not watching live and it gets cut out because all the studios come after me for playing their shitty clips, then it's not my fault. You have to watch it live. We're live here at just ahead of midnight on the East Coast. From the City of Angels, Sunday night. This is the Dust Brothers / Chemical Brothers. From back when I was a rave DJ, I used to play this and it would just wait. I'm going to hold for a second. I want you to hear the breakdown. This is from like 1993. Dude, it's so ahead of its time. Here, nice little breakdown. It's got a little reggae action. So, try to guess the top 10 worst films. They're incoming right now. Get ready. And here come the clips. It's going to be a fun show, so get ready. Time to do it live from the City of Angels. Let's go. There's what I like. This is the best part of the song right here. Very soundtracky. All right. We turn it down and let's go. So here's the deal. When I was compiling this list, you got to remember, as I said from the top of the stream, this was one of the worst years in the history of film. So for me, it's been very difficult. I've been going back and forth on some of these films throughout the entire day, hell, the past week, trying to figure out what really were the 10 worst films. And again, one of the worst years ever. Now, I will say that this year has gotten better at the end of the year. A lot of these films that have come in, such as Complete Unknown, Nickel Boys, and The Brutalist. We've had some great films come in. So that's good. But there were so many terrible ones. So here we go with our top 10 worst films of 2024. Thank you for the super chat, Vader Monkey. It will offset all of the copyright laws that I'm about ready to destroy along with these films. Now, number 10 was a film that I was not going to include because I actually sort of enjoyed laughing at the film. But once Sony's CEO decided to say that Madam Web flopped in theaters because the press crucified it without a reason, essentially. He's basically saying the film was good. It wasn't a bad film. It did great on Netflix. What does that say? People watch anything on Netflix. For some reason, the press decided they just didn't want us making these films out of Craven and Madam Web, and the critics just destroyed them because they were terrible. Sony Pictures CEO. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, here comes our first scene, and it's one of the funniest scenes in Madam Web. This is the Britney Spears Toxic dancing on the diner table scene. Here we go, everybody. Scene number 1 from film number 10, Madam Web.
So much for attracting attention.
Get ready. The girls are going to be on the table. Here's Toxic.
What is that? We have to go.
I'm so sorry.
Get down. This isn't what you think. Get your stuff. You left us.
I'm so sorry.
At this moment, I was screaming in the theater. I'll let it play underneath as I hammer it. So the girls are like, trying to hide. They went on the lam. They're trying to disappear so the bad guy doesn't find them. So instead of doing that, they dance on the table of the diner to Britney Spears' Toxic, as you just saw. And then you can see what's going on throughout this film. Some of the worst song usage and overall calibration on a film this year. One of the worst directed films for sure, because it's clueless. Here, let me just show you the end scene to show you how bad this is. Here's the end scene. Now, it's not even just about like how heavy-handed the end is, and here she is, Madam Web. Just the song that they picked to play over the credits is where I know, I'm not kidding you, I screamed as loud as I have ever inside of a theater when I saw this happen. Here we go.
Whatever the future holds.
Get ready. Here it comes.
We'll be ready. And you know the best thing about the future.
Here it comes.
It hasn't happened yet.
A really dark, like crazy song, right? Like, yeah, and then you get ready. Cranberries Dreams. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? She has dreams? But it has no, like, this isn't even like a hard song. You want to end it's like this, and it's like, what the fuck? Oh my God. This is, again, this points back to what I said, one of the worst directed films, because direction is deciding what songs to use and what works. And let's tie this back to the Sony CEO here, who said that this wasn't horrible. First of all, the fact that you let this film enter theaters with this song at the end, just from a calibration standpoint, it just is so fucked. It's like, what's happening? Why are you playing Cranberries Dreams? It's not the right song. You watch films and there's the right, this is terrible. Okay. So that's our number 10 film. So I was going to leave it off because I wanted to put Civil War in, but Civil War did not make the top 10, but it's definitely one of the worst films of the year. Number 9 comes to us from, again, Sony. It's a back-to-back for Sony. CEO, you've had a bad year. And this is one that I don't think many of you saw, just like a lot of these. Trust me. Some of these none of you saw, except for me. Only I suffered through here. Tom Hanks, maudlin, sappy, garbage film. Here's the opening scene to give you some idea of what Zemeckis tried to do. It's not just about shooting it in one room of a house, which would have been cool, like a ghost story. No, we're going to take it all the way back to the creation of the Earth to begin the movie. Just watch. I'm in the theater going, what the fuck is happening? What am I watching? We have the Ice Age. Then we have plants sprouting. Just wait. This goes on. We're going to let it roll just so you can know. There, now we got, I think the dinosaurs are coming. Get ready. There's the hummingbird. There's the hummingbird. I'm gonna let this play underneath as we are at the location where the house will be built. What are we doing? Why are you doing this, Zemeckis? Look at this green screen Indian running through with his arrow. Now we have prospectors. What in the fuck is happening? Zemeckis has lost his mind, along with so many directors this year. They all lost it. These old directors need to stop. Just stop. You're old. You're over the hill. We're going to put you in the old folks director's home. And so this just goes, look, it's still going. This film is, if you think this is good, someone said it was good. I'm not watching an ad. Get out of here. I don't want to watch an ad. Back to me. Let me kill the ad. Give me a second. This is what happens when you do it live. Here was, I think, the worst part of here, in addition to the opening, which is still going on. It's like 8 minutes of this. You have multiple people living in this house, and we are in one room, right? Which sounds cool. It's an interesting concept. Terribly executed. And some of the choices, and I think the worst is one of the scenes that I hated the most this year was when one of the families that's there, it's African-American family, they're in there, and then Zemeckis decides he's going to preach to the audience about police brutality. And it's so out of place. Listen, if you're going to work it in organically. It comes out of nowhere. I'm like, what? All of a sudden the scene starts with, what am I watching? Listen, here is by far one of the worst films of the year, and I'm very happy to drag it along with A Man Who Needs to Retire in Robert Zemeckis. It's over. Let me help you out here. It's over. And I think it's over for Hanks, right? Nobody wants to see Tom Hanks anymore. Number 8 is a film that, again, not many of you saw because it didn't do well, and I'm glad you didn't have to suffer through it. It's Lisa Frankenstein, which feels like a Tim Burton movie, but it's got a nasty streak to it. It doesn't have a good heart. It has how would I put it? Disgusting heart. Now, listen, it's directed by Robin Williams' daughter, and it's just Argyle. It was this year. Argyle was Apple's venture into theatrical. We're going to go wide with this thing. No, they went wide with Killers of the Flower Moon, but this kind of big, this is going to be a big hit for us. My God, Argyle and Matthew Vaughn. This is the scene that I just about walked out. Here comes the ice skating shoot-a-thon.
Oh, man. I thought you'd never ask.
Get ready, everybody. I'm like this. Here it comes. You ready for some fucking shit?
Makes it so hard not to cry.
Hey, everybody, let's glorify violence with like a nice soft rock song, right? I mean, I don't like, listen, I'm not saying, listen, John Wick's awesome. Certainly the last one was incredible. I like a good action film. I have no problem with guns. I'm just saying I don't like the whole, it feels like a glorification, right? Let's just blow these guys away as we move out and then we skate all over the place. Hold on. She's skating around in this thing. Bryce Dallas Howard. Here she is. She's skating around and she's doing triple axles and shit. Here, watch this. Fucking terrible. Rockwell should fire his agent for saying yes to Argyle. And by far one of the biggest bombs of the year, but also one of the worst films of the year. Terrible music choice, Johnny. Exactly. Goes back to, you got to nail the song, right? You really do. And if the song were right and had energy, I don't even know what the song is. Does anybody know what that is? Is that like a hit song? Okay, we've reached the portion of the show where people are going to get angry with me because you're going to say, you had to do it, didn't you? Of course I did, because it's earned. The film that has the number 6 spot. Now, I didn't put it further down the list, but the film that's at number 6 is a film that 100% deserves to be here. It is not up for debate. This is a film, and where I found the scene, and this is where I go, oh my God, Sean Baker is the biggest fucking fraud in all of Hollywood when it comes to writing. This is our number 6 film. It is Anora.
Oh, I am not going fucking anywhere. We are not getting a divorce because you tell us to. Go fuck yourself.
You go fuck yourself.
Me go fuck myself. Me fuck myself. You go fuck yourself and your fucking mother, motherfucker. You don't even.
No, I'm gonna let it go. No, I'm gonna continue this shit. I will. The whole stream. They can take the stream down in the middle of this. I'm not gonna. In fact, I should make this number 1. The fact, did you just listen to this shit? Fuck this, fuck that. Listen, yeah, whoever does that. But I'm just, this film, there's nothing smart going on here. This is a bunch of arguing. This scene in this moment in Anora, when they're in the house and they're arguing and the kid takes off and then the gangsters tie her up. I'm going to let it go to let you know this is only 3 minutes of roughly 20 minutes of this shit. And there are a critics group who named Anora the #1 film of the year. And I'm telling you, it's over. It is done. You are never walking that back. You're fucked if you say this is the best film of the year. It's done. Over.
Стоп. Торрес. Мои родители сейчас едут в Америку, летят. Я правильно понял?
Are you dead? They're
Leaving
leaving.
Russia in an hour. Tomorrow noon, we're gonna go meet them. You hear me?
What the fuck is going on?
Come on.
Yelling,
Come on,
screaming.
Come
Why
on.
don't we have to leave the house? You can't just fucking come in here like that.
Чего, блядь?
Excuse me, get the fuck away from me, please.
There's the fucking Russian. This whole
Where
fucking
are we
movie
going,
sucks.
Ivan?
I hate
don't know
Anora.
where are we going,
Fuck
but
this
we
movie.
are going.
Where is he going?
I'm gonna stop and say I'm gonna add a couple fucks. Fuck Anora and fuck you, Sean Baker, for making this fucking movie and then winning it at Cannes. Fuck off. This is some shit. This is a shit film. Fuck you.
Even why are they saying? That doesn't make any sense.
Ivan, where are you going?
We should call the fucking police or something.
Garbage. Fucking garbage.
Did he say he's leaving?
Fine.
Let's go.
I need to get dressed though. My fucking clothes upstairs.
Carney, get him. Carney.
Oh no, it's still going. We're a minute in. There's 2 more minutes of this clip. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna. No, just another second.
подъедет через 10.
Wait, stop. Where are you going? No, we have no
to
time.
get dressed, Ivan.
Oh, God.
Okay, bye.
Ты чё? Ты куда? Не отпускай меня.
Are you kidding me?
Ivan! Oh, my fucking God.
Ivan, what the fuck?
Whoa.
Get the fuck out of my way.
I can't. I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna live in a universe where you're gonna tell me Anora is the best film of the year. So to LA film critics, you're fucking idiots. Okay, New York Film Circle, whoever else gave this film. If you gave this film, if you even listed in your top 10, let alone the best film of the year, I just want you to know that no one will ever take you seriously for the remainder of time. And you fell into the trap of praising a director because he's a cinephilic guy and we love him. Sean Baker loves movies. I don't care if Sean Baker loves movies. We gave him the Cinema Champion Award a few months ago. And now I'm here to tell you that not only is it Nora the most overrated film of the year, it's one of the worst films of the year. And I would argue the most overrated film of the past decade plus, maybe even going back 30, 40 years because of the fact it's being viewed as a possible best screenplay contender. That alone is enough to make me say I am out. I am done. I am not going to talk about this shit. If you're going to pretend, I'm not going to live in a world where we're in some kind of make-believe bullshit where this is good. This is fucking terrible. And Sean Baker is the biggest fraud of a writer in all of Hollywood. And you can send it to him. I don't care. Sean seems like a nice guy. I'm here to tell you, Sean, you have zero talent as a writer. I don't think anybody in this town has ever had more, quote, success and more acclaim for being as under-talented as you are as a writer. You're a good director. You're a very bad writer. And I am not going to walk that back. There's 0% chance I'm going to walk that back. It is truly awful. No, listen. Yes, Kuzma, that's a great point. It could be an Uncut Gems, which I'm not even that high on, but at least there's some measure of restraint in that film, even though it's not much. There's more than Anora. This scene goes on for 15 more minutes. She gets tied up and put in the house, and they yell, and the guy shows up, and they're screaming and going, "Where'd the guy go?" And they chase him all over town. That's the movie. Guys, no, Giacomo, you're 100% right. Listen, Everything Everywhere, which is not a great film, is still better. Is 100 times better than Nora. Listen, no, we're not doing it. Not happening. I'm going to move on, but I'm just letting you know I am going to be right. And history is going to absolutely. If it wins Best Picture, John, I will have the stream that'll go on for 2 hours of me ranting and raving. And also, I will never listen to anything the Academy ever does. I will also, again, anybody who puts this in a top 10 list, I'm not gonna pay any attention to. It's over. By the way, tonight's kid is Southampton, the worst team in the EPL. What? This is, see, these things are thought out. You guys are like, why is he wearing this? Because they're the last place team in the table. That's why. Because it's the worst of the year. Number 5 is Poolman. None of you saw it. I saw it opening night at the AMC 16. This is Chris Pine's directorial debut. And to give you some idea of how terrible this film is, you just watch the clip we're about ready to watch. Let me skip the ad. And this is live. I got to get it all going here.
This is not just 1 hour delivery.
All right. Thank you, Walgreens.
This is fast
brought to
relief.
you by Walgreens. God, why can't the ads be faster, for God's sake?
So I'm at the
Here we go.
restaurant. What's it called?
What's what called?
The restaurant.
Omakase Tomaya.
Omakase Tomaya is where we are. I'm telling you, Dad, don't get old because it's a drag. The guy gives me the bag. So I look in the bag, and there's the jalapenos in the appetizer. Very nice, just the way she likes it.
But you're
Under
a
the
little
appetizer,
shiny.
the food is frozen solid. It's uncooked.
Well, it's a
Uncooked
Japanese
food.
restaurant.
What are you
Uncooked is kind of their thing.
No, uncooked meat. I ain't dying. Uncooked raw meat is nobody's thing. Plus, I got these 2 giant lobsters staring me in the
Lobster
face.
tails, Jackie.
Tails, right? So I say to the guy, "What's up with this?" He says, "Well, at the moment, we're acting as a
You see how the scene
wholesaler.
is
We're
amorphic?
giving you
It
the
just
food
is like,
bits
what's
and
going
Yeah,
on
they're
here?
trying
So
something
There's
new.
there's
You can't blame them
no
for being
like
innovative.
Innovative is a ball.
structure to this film aside from scenes that we're watching here. Chris Pine, I strongly believe that Chris Pine has no friends, because the fact that someone let him make this movie and release it tells me he has no one close in his life, and that makes me sad for Chris Pine. He plays this hippie / conspiracy theorist, and he lives in LA, and he rails against the city council, and it's trying to be some version of China. It's trying to I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say the title. I'm not going to say the movie. You have to watch Poolman to understand how bad quasi comedy and why DeVito and Benning are in this film. This is easily one of the worst films of the year. It's basically unwatchable and one of the most embarrassing films of the year. Anora is brutalizingly painful to sit through, but this doesn't even. I can't even. You have to watch Poolman. I can't. Some of these films, I'm not going to be able to do it justice until you sit through it. The thing is here's what Pine was thinking. Pine was thinking, I'll just make a movie because I'm good and I can make this. The problem is, remember, Hollywood is full of all kinds of folks who think they're good at something, okay, and they're not that good. And the problem is that no one tells them they're not that good. And the fact that you made this film makes me say that no one's in his life that loves him. And that makes me sad for Chris Pine. It's easily one of the worst films of the year. Number 4 is Horizon. This is a film that was so terrible and so overlong and so punishing in its runtime and so poorly received at the box office too, which is, listen, there's a reason. But this is how bad the film was. Horizon Part 2, it hasn't even been announced as far as when it's coming out. They showed it at, I believe, Venice, right? Part 2. And then they just said, I don't think we're ever going to put it out. That's how terrible Horizon is. Let's watch a scene when Kevin Costner comes to town. And for some reason, the broad, I guess she's kind of a hooker. She's attracted to him. And I'm like, why? Kevin Costner's kind of just like older guy. He's not the Kevin Costner, the rich guy. Just watch. Let's turn it up. Here he is.
Whoever reads that letter is going to think you're shy of brains.
Yeah, well, between him and me, we got a good part of it.
You know, I think it's fine. You know, you'd still ride home and send money. I think it shows character.
Yeah.
Saw Mrs. Daly take her friends up in there. That where you'll stay? Well, her husband waters down his spirits, you know. He calls in these rum. He just collects out to use glasses.
So I'm still, when I'm watching this, I'm like, why is she attracted to him? He's just a random guy who comes to town. He's like, he's not, listen, Kevin Costner used to be a stud. He's kind of older now, right? And I'm not saying he's a bad looking guy. I'm just saying, of all the people to come into town, why are you all of a sudden attracted to him? It's written from the perspective of Kevin Costner's, walking around as John Holmes. He's got the giant, 20-inch cock. I mean, that's kind of the movie you're watching going, why is everyone so enamored with Kevin Costner in this movie? He's kind of schlumpy. Like, he's just nothing to expect. And then the scene at the end where she jumps him and starts humping him. This is what, guys, you don't understand. It was 3 hours and I was in the back of the theater. Thank God I was in a theater that I could sit in the back and I could be on my phone, because this is punishing. This is some shit right here. And the fact that there are people out there who think that Horizon is a very good film you can't trust them. And I know there's all this also, it's weird. Can I mention something about Horizon? A lot of these films that are kind of like that. It's from a legend, Kevin Costner. And, of course, it seems like all of the, rights wing, right? Because I'm not left or right. But the right is always about like, well, this film's an American film with lots of white people. Therefore, it's good. And we can't say it's bad. Why are you doing that? Don't do that. That makes you look dumb. Because when you watch Horizon, it's terrible. So I'm not hammering the film because it's full of white actors. I'm telling you it's one of the worst films and most poorly calibrated films of the year. Costner shows no concern for the audience by just letting scenes go on and on and on. This scene keeps going. This scene is I'm only 49 seconds into this scene, guys. There's another 4 minutes of this scene. Can you imagine sitting through this? Listen, yes, Adriana Chechik's super hot. But no, of course I wouldn't make you watch the entire 4 minutes. This is already painful enough, this entire stream. That's our number 4 film of the year. Costner used to have Big D energy in the 80s. Yeah, exactly. You get it, Richard. That's the thing. I'm watching and going, why do these women want to bone him? What's up? Bone him, by the way. We're now to the final 3. And this is, guys, we're in special territory.
Building
right
your
now.
online.
I got to sit through so many ads. Just give me a second. We'll get to it. Our number 3 film is a film that I guarantee none of you saw. And I'm about ready to give you a taste of the film. I couldn't find the exact clip that I wanted because there aren't any clips of this movie, because no one saw Tuesday. Let me quickly walk you through it. The girl in the hospital ward is the daughter of Elaine from Seinfeld, and she's dying of cancer. So the Grim Reaper parrot that you see on the right, he visits her. And he has to decide when he's going to take her life. Now, just watch a little bit of it, and I'll explain the scene that I wish I could show you.
You didn't go.
I couldn't. I was too sick. And only the ones that wanted sympathy points came to visit. And even they don't come anymore. Friends can be shit.
Well, I've never had a friend.
Well, I'm saying they all left me.
Well, all beings in the world fear and despise me.
So the CGI parrot talks to the girl, and then Elaine shows up, and she eats the parrot so that the parrot won't take her daughter. One more time, everybody. She devours the parrot so that the parrot won't kill her daughter and take away her precious loved one. And then the parrot gets, I believe, regurgitated from Elaine. And then we have her doing comedy bits. Man, Tuesday, you guys don't even know. You have no idea. But I'm telling you, it's number 3. And if you want to suffer, put Tuesday on. Yes, that's the voice the entire movie. I will take your soul. Number 2 is also from A24. A24 had the worst year of their existence in 2024. Not only do they have film number 3 and film number 2, they also have Civil War and a number of other films like Problemista that could have easily been on this list. A24, with this film in particular, Tuesday was an acquisition. I believe this film was made by A24. They produced it. None of you saw it again, and you're lucky. It's called The Front Room, and I'm going to give you a taste of the jokiest performance of 2024. Pay attention to the older woman as she speaks to Brandy in the front room. Evil mother-in-law. And it goes on for like an hour and 40 minutes. All of that over and over and over. And I was in the empty theater. And A24 films aren't ever empty. And this film was 100% empty. And I was like, well, now I know why. And here's the thing. It's the Eggers brothers directorial debut. Robert Eggers got a deal for his brothers to make this shit film called The Front Room. Without question, it would be the worst film of the year if it weren't for number one. Can everybody guess what number one is? You have one shot. What film have we left off and it's about ready to show up? We have not had it yet. I'm gonna hide it so you can't see what I have loading up here. What film is number one? And if you get it right, you've been paying attention and you know how much we hate this film. And it's also a film that a Pulitzer Prize critic said you need to watch twice. Not once, but twice. Anybody know? Anybody want to guess what our number one worst film of 2024 is? John. Yes. Anybody else get it right? It is Megalopolis. Here's a taste of the worst film of 2024.
Sorry.
What is it?
Mr. Nushberman is here. He'd like a minute of your time.
I'm not in the residence. I'll see him in the banquet hall. Excuse me just one moment. I'll return soon.
Come back soon, Frankie.
So we're gonna go slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick, slow.
I'm aware that this kid Claudio is a close friend of your daughter Julia.
He's no friend of Julia. He's an acquaintance. And a bad influence.
He faked that video of Catalina somehow. He's picking up a large popular constituency. He's some kind of genius. He can talk everything.
You handle this.
Poor Dustin Hoffman.
Okay.
We haven't seen him in forever. And then he shows up in this.
Check with you first.
First of all, you guys see the film doesn't even look good. Right? Coppola, we funded this. He spent $120 million on this shit. Guys, I have sat through some films that were brutalizing, but this year, I remember in the IMAX screening of this, it was one of the first screenings, and I was up in the corner, and thank God, during Megalopolis, I was able to go into the little alcove and get on my phone and do other things. And you're going to say, well, that wasn't fair. The movie doesn't deserve my attention. Across the board at every level, from performances, cinematography, the production design is terrible. Everything about this in the screenplay, this is one of the biggest disasters in the history of Hollywood. Anyone who, again, is on the wrong side of history with Megalopolis or Anora or The Front Room, no one's on the wrong side, or Tuesday, or any of these films, frankly, Horizon, you understand that there's no return. There's no coming back from this. And the fact that we have a Pulitzer Prize winning critic telling you to watch Megalopolis twice is enough for you to question everything that you hear from anybody in the film space, because this is supposed to be a Pulitzer Prize. What are you doing? Across every level, this is F. Every performance, every element, the score, everything is the worst. Number one film of the year. Coppola must be doing all kinds of drugs. Well, listen, he's also, we've talked about this, guys. He's old, okay? I know that, and I'm allowed, because listen, first of all, he's a white guy, so I'm allowed to trash him, right? Because that's how it goes. But I would trash him if it was a woman. It doesn't matter. Do you understand? It doesn't matter. It's a white guy. He's an old dude. Old people, I love you. My parents are old. Here's what I'm going to tell you. They lose their fastball. You guys understand why Tom Brady retired? Of course you do, because he got old. He lost his touch. He got done. He got tired. And he was still playing at a high level, but he's not 75. When you start looking at a Michael Mann, when you start looking at, we mentioned Zemeckis, another film this year. We obviously Coppola here. When you look at even Eastwood, Juror Number 2, very overrated film. Not as bad as these films, but not a great film. I mean, it's just there. It is presentable. When you start looking at these directors, Ridley Scott, you're looking at directors who need to pack it up, okay? Because eventually you're not able to play the kid's game. Walk it back to Moneyball. Because if you lose some of your tools, you cannot operate at the same level that you did when you were 40, when you were 30, 50, whatever the age is. It's not 75, 80. Coppola should have stopped. It was a waste of money. And this film bombed. It was under 10 million for the year. Domestic, that is, listen, Lionsgate picked it up, and at first we were like, yay, but after watching it, I wouldn't pay anything for this film. I would pay to have it back, girl. I would not pay a penny to ever have it released. So this was, again, the worst year that I can recall in the past, certainly 15, 20 years. This, across the board, I could have picked 20 films easily that were all terrible, and then a bunch of films that were mid or worse. Oddity, and Gone Girl really wanted you put Oddity on there. Let me say, Oddity is the most overrated film of the year because it is so boring. There's nothing exceptional about that film, nothing scary about that film. Yet I was told from the film Twitter, quote, elites, that Oddity was one of the best films of the year. Scary. Guys, man, this is something else. You got to understand, man. You got to understand. We are not, and we never have been that wrong on the side of history. If you call Oddity one of the best films of the year or scary, that's over. If you call Megalopolis a 2-watch film, that's done. If you say Anora is one of the best films of the year, best screenplay, you're done. There's no room for error on some of these films, okay? And that's why I made certain that these films that are listed are on here, because there's no moving of these. These are here for a reason. This is not subjective. This is objectively the worst films of the year, and I could have put 10 more on. So anyone who tells you this is the great year, this is a great year, 2022 destroys 2024. The top films of 2022 are all rated higher than my top films of 2024, right? We talk about the NFL draft all the time. When you look at a draft year, if you're not familiar with that, it's where the college players come out, and of course you pick them on your team, and you get to pick based on how terrible your team is. If you're the worst team in the NFL, you pick number 1. Well, when we stack our board of the best films of 2024 versus the best films of 2022 destroys it, okay? You go back to Decision to Leave, you go to Tar, you go to Moon Age Daydream, you have 3 there, and After Sun, 4 that are all higher rated than anything this year, okay? And even the worst films of 2022 weren't as bad as this year. You're going to say strikes. You're going to say, listen, it's not just about strikes. It's about a fundamental loss of creative control in this town, and executives like our Sony Pictures CEO saying that Madam Web's not horrible. It's a bad film, okay? It was funny bad. It's enjoyably bad, but it's still not good. And these execs don't understand. And you just sit there and you're like, how are you so clueless? How do you think that this passes as quality or this is great? And I really think that there's something going on in the world where people are getting dumber. I do. I really do. I'm not kidding. It's not a joke. Haha. It's for real. People are literally losing IQ points by the moment. And I see these takes and I go, wow. I saw a take calling Juror Number 2 like a great film. Guys, listen, it's not one of the worst films here, but in no universe is Juror Number 2 a film that anyone is going to discuss beyond like the moment you walk out. It is completely forgettable. It's a bad presumed innocent. It's not A Few Good Men. It's not even a great courtroom drama. And you know, I just am at a loss for words at the number of people who call themselves experts in the space who are atrocious at what they quote do. And it's baffling to me that there are people that even do it. Imagine being bad at something and then still doing it, right? I'm not saying that we're the best channel, that we're good, but I'm not saying that the streams are the best streams ever. But I also know this: if you put me head to head in a ring with a live one-on-one solo, I will destroy almost everybody. It's not a contest, but I know that, and people have told me that. So if you're not getting feedback that you're talented at something, why are you still doing it? I don't care if you want to do it. If you're not good, you don't do it. I don't care if you want to direct a film, if you want to write a film. If your script sucks, you're not good. I'm tired of living in a world where we can't tell people they fucking suck. It's the reality. I'm sorry. It's not nice. I don't care. I was raised Gen X. We're not nice. We don't sit there and say, well, you're talented when you're not. I'm not going to say that. I've never said that. It'd be painful to even go. I can't. I can't do it. I'm going to have a hard time. Just give me a second. I watch people all the time. I've flipped on videos on YouTube and I'd watch and I go, who told you to do this? Like, who didn't tell you? Who didn't say stop? Go back to Chris Pine and Poolman. Who didn't say don't make this? You see, I don't know why it's wrong to tell somebody stop, because they should, because they're not good. Baby Girl would have been right at home on your list. Just saw it's further proof A24 suffered the worst year in their history. Luis, I didn't see it. I will see it this week. We'll talk about it probably next week. All of the best films of the year coming up, more than likely New Year's Eve is what I'm thinking for that. And if you miss it, we'll have it after. And you can see what's there. Listen, if I play the clips, I can't guarantee that the stream's going to look the same. Because when I run these things live, I am running a risk of getting hit with copyright stuff. But you got to understand something. I'm trying to produce a fun show. I'm trying to show you, demonstrate to you a taste of what I'm watching. And if that means that I'm going to get demonetized or be copyright bullshit, I don't care. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't care. I'm not one of these people on here trying to shill away. Send money. Give me a super chat. I saw Vader Monkey. Thank you for the money. That's awesome. It's appreciated. I'm not here like Gore. Send me a super chat. I want to make. That's not what I'm doing. I'm here because I want to make these movies better. And if they brought me in at the development stage, I would say, do not make Poolman. Do not make Megalopolis. Do not buy this film. What are you doing? You don't acquire this. These things have to be said. And if they're not going to let me in the room, I don't care. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to come on here and destroy and hammer Baker, hammer Anora, hammer Megalopolis, hammer Coppola, hammer the studio that picked up Megalopolis, Warner Brothers, for agreeing to distribute Horizon Part 1 and then disappearing Part 2 because it's bad. Why didn't someone say no to Kevin Costner? I don't care if it's Kevin Costner. You're not good. It doesn't matter. Why do we live in a world where someone is told they're good, but they're really not? I'm not going to live in that world. That's Anora, right? That's the world. I'm being told that is your Palm winner. That is a great film. This is a work of cinema. No, I'm not going to believe that. You can't tell me this shit. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to sit here and listen to your propaganda. Okay. I saw it. And if I liked it, I'd say it's good. You guys know that. I have never once come on here and said I hate a film because I want to get views, likes, hate. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to be as objective and honest about this and hopefully unvarnished, obviously, as you see. And all that stuff is not welcome in this town. This town is run on platitudes, bullshit, fake ass people. I'm not one of those people. You guys clearly can tell. This is not an act. I don't have any of that. When I go off, it's real. It's not manufactured. So that goes against everything that Hollywood is. Hollywood is the opposite. You got to say everyone's good. And great example, the Superman trailer we just hammered. Who didn't tell? Why are you putting Superdog in this? I don't care. It's dumb. It's fucking dumb. Superdog should be in Justice League, in the Justice League of Pets, whatever the fuck that movie was. It should not be in Superman. And because no one's going to tell James Gunn, because James Gunn's God. Really? Is he? Is James Gunn God? I don't think he is. Okay. I don't think listen, someone could come to me and say, hey, here's the deal. But here's the deal. I'm doing my own show. I'm doing my own thing. I don't have to answer to Warner Brothers. I don't have to worry about box office. I don't care. Right. So if I'm working for Warner Brothers and I'm making the Superman movie and I put Superdog in and then someone says that's kind of dumb, I'd be like, yeah, I think you're right. But no one's going to tell James Gunn that. They're going to say, you're so great, James Gunn. Nothing you do is wrong. You need someone in your life who tells you that you're fucking up. You need someone in your life who tells you this isn't the best thing. Most people don't have one of those people. You have yes men. This sounds full of them. And I'm not going to be one of those people. And for that, I don't care. I just destroyed Sean Baker over and over. We gave him a title for Cinema Champion, and then I just dragged him. Every week I'm dragging him because Anora's one of the most painful films through this year. Here's the reality, is that I'm not going to care about that. I'm not worried about Neon inviting me somewhere. I'm not worried about A24 sending me a gift package. I'm not worried about Netflix taking me to the party. I don't care. And when you don't give a shit about those things, then Hollywood is fucked because they have no control. You've got Jeff Snyder out there whining and crying that he didn't get to go to the Superman trailer premiere. I don't care. I don't want to go. Because if I was there, I would have said, what are you doing? Why is Superdog in this? This looks bad. Some of these shots aren't even good. What were you thinking, James? Why'd you put him in? It's goofy. And he might not agree, but I'm going to say that. You think any of these other people, Soup's going to say that? Jeff wouldn't say that. Jeff pretends to be all hard. He's not hard. Dude, he cares. I don't give a shit. That's the difference. That's what you're getting here in MMT. Most anticipated. You know what? That's a whole stream, Luis. Thank you. That's a whole stream we're going to do in the beginning of the year, new year, because here's the reality, right? It's going to slow down. This year is going to, obviously we're done. And then in January, it's so fucking slow that I really need something to talk about that's interesting. Not the latest movie that opens up on January 10th that you're like, what is this? No one wants to see this, like a Night Swim from last year. That could have been on our worst of the year. But when you talk about the anticipated films, that's a whole stream. We'll do that, Luis, I promise. Along with the best of the year, that's coming up as well. You probably can guess a lot of those films, just like you guess the worst of. If you watch MMT, you know we drag these films repeatedly for a reason. They all belong here. How much money in Super Chat for you to react to Stuckman's best of 20? What was his best of 2024? Oh, shit. Don't even say it. You guys, if it was Anora, oh, God. If it was Anora, I swear to God, I don't want to do it. I might have to just turn off the entire stream. Give me 1 second. Let me find it. It's Chris Stuckman. Oh God, why? Don't tell me it's Anora. Oh God, please don't say it's Anora. Please say it's not Anora. Oh shit. First of all, his stream is 8 minutes. My stream's like 7 hours. I'm not saying that's good, but the best films in 8 minutes. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I don't care. Stuckman's boring. Let's see what his number one is. Let's just watch.
It will become one of those films that is shown for years and years and years and years. And just don't miss out, but see it with the right mindset, okay? And see it with the right crowd if you can, or at least all of your best
Hundreds
friends.
of Beavers. I didn't see it.
It's really a blast, and I'm so inspired by it, and I hope that you guys are too. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Diddy on this?
Sounds
Diddy
of
was
AOL.
bad. Diddy was so painful. He's Wild Robot, overrated film. Hold on, what else? I want to see what else he has. Let's see. What the fuck was? Hold on, let me just do it quickly. Yeah, that's a good film, but that was last year. That's a last year film. What he's talking about there, Perfect Days. That's last year. Love Lies Bleeding is one of A24's best films. Substance, definitely one of the best films of the year. Let's see what else he has. Hold on, I'm just going through Dune. And I don't know if Dune's going to make my list. I like Dune 1. I didn't see Hundreds of Beavers. I want to see it. You know, I've heard a lot of good things about Hundreds of Beavers, so I probably will watch. But he's so boring. Chris Stuckman is literally like watching, yes, the proverbial paint dry. Very boring. I'll take Grace Randolph reading off a teleprompter for Stuckman. Well, listen, if Stuckman tried to do a live stream like I'm doing, it would be a disaster. He can't do it, right? There's a lot of edits going on. He's just, you can't, you have to be almost a live wire to do this, right? You guys can tell. If you have any, literally damper on what you're doing, it's not going to work. You have to just say what you believe at that moment. And sometimes I'm not saying it's always right, but I can tell you this, I don't make shit up. I'm always like, okay, this is where I am on this, and I'm not going to move off of it. And again, someone's like, well, it's filmed. Why are you being subjective? I'm like, stop. Don't do that. Don't do the whole subjective thing. Not here, not on this channel. Don't do it. I got a couple more things I want to talk about here tonight. In addition to the worst stuff, anything else you want to talk about, go ahead. I think we're already 50 minutes into the worst movies. You see what I'm saying? I'm just sitting here and I didn't even think I was going to go that long. I got two things I want to get into tonight, and one is very important. One is just about Batman 2 being pushed, but this is bigger. This is very important that we talk about this. I talked about this morning. We need to have this. We need to have a come to Jesus conversation right now, everybody. So, according to Jeff Snyder, the Snyder, who likes to post pictures of himself shirtless in the car, even though he doesn't really go to the gym, which is weird, but that's okay. I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw it in. Sorry, my bad. Forget I said that. Let's just go straight to the story. Robert Eggers is apparently going to make a new Labyrinth movie. This is the wrong guy. I said this morning, and I still maintain Robert Eggers might be the most overrated director in Hollywood. It's very hard to find someone. I'm struggling to find someone who's more overrated than Robert Eggers. His films are framed well. They look good, but they have very little emotional core. It's just full of faux emotion, and it's strained. I think, I said this earlier, and this is again where people are going to get angry. I believe that there are two kinds of people in the world. Okay. There are people that are good light, right? They shine of a bright light, of a good heart. And I believe there's people that have a dark light, and not necessarily a bad heart, but more of a just kind of like depressed heart. I believe that Robert Eggers is the latter camp. I believe that he is not a joyful, light human being. And you guys are going to say, me, I am. Okay. I go off on films, but overall, people who know me in real life know that I'm a light person. I know I hammer films and I sound like, but I if I were to make a film, and I know we wrote our film, it's fucking great, but here's the reality. The film is full of humanity. It's full of you're going to attach to it and go, I can feel, what it feels like to be a person, a human, and a grounded, and just Robert Eggers doesn't have that. He's just not that guy. I haven't seen it in his films. Okay. Northman's missing it. Obviously Nosferatu's missing it. And then you look at Lighthouse. What the fuck? In which, again, sterile, cold films. He's a cold, sterile person. No question about it. And because of that, you cannot let someone like that take... You talk about a light of the world personality in Jim Henson. Go watch that doc. One of the best films of the year. In fact, it might end up on my top 10 of the year. I almost forgot about that. I saw it at AMC, so that counts as theatrical. The Jim Henson... the Idea Man, I forget what it's called. It's a Disney Plus now. You need to watch that. He is a man who was so warm and generous and wanted to spread joy in the world. Okay, that's not Robert Eggers. So you see what you're getting from me. All these other people are talking about Robert Eggers, this and that. Everything I just said, no one has said until this moment. That's what we do better than anybody. We're better than everybody. We're more on fucking over the target every time. And when you're over the target all the time and people watch, and I get DMs from people going, damn, that was good. That was really, no one's even saying it. Well, of course they're not, because they don't have the ability to go that deep. He's a dark light. I want a bright light. Jim Henson was not Robert Eggers. Jim Henson is much more like David Lowery. David Lowery, Jim Henson. David Lowery should be doing this, not Robert Eggers. And if I'm not mistaken, who the hell had that? I've watched that film 10 billion times. I just don't remember what studio that was. Wasn't Disney. Who the hell had Labyrinth? I can't even remember. Was it Sony? Columbia? I don't remember. Okay, so when you look at whoever owns the property of that, if it's the Hensons, okay, if the Hensons are selling it, I'm not sure of the sale. I didn't read Jeff's column. I'm not paying to read his stuff. Here's what I'll tell you, is that I'm not going to let Robert Eggers buy it. I'm going to say, no, my dad, this isn't you. I'm going to tell him straight up. I'm going to have a lunch with him and say, you're not the guy. I'm going to get David Lowery. And I know, here's the thing, though. Here's how Hollywood works. David Lowery didn't have a hit. Pete's Dragon wasn't big. I don't fucking care. We're going to make the best movie. Do you guys understand? I don't care about titles and names and whoever. It is about who is the right person for the job. Why do we hammer DEI all the time? And I have. And by the way, it's starting to crumble, isn't it? Isn't that interesting? Yes, I've been go back forever on that. I'm not going to live in a world where you tell me I've got to slot someone because of the color of their skin or whatever. No way. I'm going to pick people that are good. Period. End of discussion. I don't care where they came from. I don't care what their background was. I don't care if they grew up poor or rich. If they're the best person for the job, you're hired. And when I look at selling off and making another or a re-envisioning, I am no way in hell giving this to Robert Eggers. There's a 0% chance. I'm going to tell him straight out. And for that reason, I'm actually going to tell him, because I'm Henson. I don't care if I'm a Henson kid. I'm going to say, you're not the right guy. Your films aren't the right thing. You're not the right right. We talk about the mesh of director to material. If it is perfect, if it's the right match, then we got something. If it's not, it's going to be off. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be off. Because he's not the right guy. David Lowery's the guy, and this is why the studio should hire me. They never will. Because, again, white guy, DEI, never going to happen. You guys know that. I'm sorry, it's a reality. In Hollywood, it's a reality. I can say it because it's true, and you know it's true. You fucking know it's true. Not just because I'm a loudmouth and I'm hammering the studios. It's because ultimately they're going to judge you based on, well, you know what? He's an older white guy. I know he's the best guy, but it's just not going to look good. We got to have some. Then you're going to say, well, the CEO's an older white guy. Well, yeah, he's been doing it forever, and he got in the system, and he's a good old boy kind of thing. If you come into it, me, out of the system, never going to let me in. I don't care. I don't care. I'll make it better, but they're not gonna let it happen. So the answer is this: do not let Eggers touch Labyrinth. Don't even dream of it. Okay, because if you do, you're gonna end up ruining the entire franchise 100%. Let's go and get a couple comments here. Gone Girl had to go to bed, so it's me by myself right now. Beau is Afraid is peak. Well, it's really the worst film of the ever. Oh, nice. I will. That's a good call. Thank you. I'll try to do that. I don't know if I can use it with the streamer I'm using. But Civil War was not number one, but it definitely deserved to be on the list. Front Room is one of the most unpleasant experiences of my life. Johnny, it really is terrible, isn't it? Could have been a good movie that's made that old woman get redemption. No, it never was going to be good. Just want to make sure I'm watching the right MMT stream. This is your second favorite of the watch it, Sully. Watch it, Sully. I'm like 20 minutes behind. Thank you, Kai B. I appreciate it. I mean, listen, it is what it is. The stream is just I can't. It is what it is. I already reacted. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. We'll do it another time. Francis Ford Coppola lost so much money on Megalopolis. He now launched an OnlyFans page. That would make sense. Seriously. Clint Eastwood, yes, at this point, I would agree with that. Yes, you're welcome. There's a lot of Nora's good. Elbow Juice, block him. Someone get him out of here. In a relatively average year for movies, you're being too kind. Baby girl. Yep, I got that. Let's see. Juror number 2 is no. It's fine. It's fine. Why is Nicholas Hoult in every movie? 100%. I have no idea. He's fine. I don't find him all that interesting. Most anticipated we talked about. Let's see what else we have. Any Eggers? I'm not going to talk about the movie. I can't because I made a deal with my writing partner. We would not talk about it. I have not seen Ren Rubes. I've heard good things about it. Remember what you said about David from... Yes, I know. I did. I said I'd fire him. I did. I said I'd fire David from The Exorcist, and I ended up liking The Exorcist. So I could be wrong. I'm not saying I could be wrong. Wow. That's what it is. Eggers is a good-looking guy. Is that what it is? Yeah, of course, Richard. You know it. That's what we're talking about. Do you guys understand, though, when I talk about the good light, let's just call it bright light, dark light, okay? You guys understand what I'm talking about, right? That I do fundamentally, you guys understand that, right? Not everybody in the world is a good person, right? And I'm not saying that Robert Eggers is a bad person. I don't know. But I can tell through his films that he's a dark person. His choices are dark. If you were to watch our film, if it gets made, which I pray it does because it's great. It is. I mean this. It's very, very good. But what you will see is no one will say this is a dark movie. Do you see? That's the thing. You will see because the writer and partner are light people. So we want to shine light in the world, not darkness. And I do believe, and I know a lot of people talk about this, there's a spiritual war, right, between good and evil right now. I completely agree with that. No one wants to talk about the fact that there's just people that are bad. They don't have good intentions. And I think it's wild that people don't admit that people are not all wonderful human beings. Now, listen, again, I go hard on people, but at the end of the day, I don't go to a movie. I don't drive my car. I don't do things to purposely be an asshole to people because I'm a selfish prick. Like today, I was driving down the 5 to go play volleyball, and there was a guy in a Mercedes, AMG, whatever the fuck it was. I'm not kidding you. He was going 120 miles an hour, weaving in and out of lanes. I had to take my car and veer right because he was coming in so fast, it looked like a video game, to cut and cut back. He's going like this across the 5. I actually called 911 because it was so reckless. I will say this, that I'm not kidding you. Listen, I know this is dark as fuck. If I had a bazooka mounted car, I would blow that motherfucker's car up. The fact that guy is going to risk everyone's life on the freeway because he wants to drive 120 in his fucking Mercedes-Benz. That's what I'm talking about. A shit human being. And these people, society cannot operate with shitty fucking people. We need to remove them from society. Okay. I'm not saying we're going to go out. I'm just telling you that we have a lot of bad people in society. And unless we start saying we're not going to take it anymore, as you just saw with Prop 36, right? This past year, I voted for it, said, let's get this back. We need to take this world back from the dark. Okay. We need to have decorum brought back. We need to have punishments brought back, and we need to have accountability. And until that happens, this world's going to be screwed. It's a tangent, I know, but I'm just going back to that light, dark person, right? And I'm not calling Eggers evil. I'm just telling you his films are dark. He's not a light person, and Labyrinth is a light property. You guys understand that? Well, I would shoot the car with a bazooka. I would. But listen, but would I be the bad guy? Would I be the bad guy if I blew the guy's car up because he was driving 120, almost causing wrecks all over the place? Just answer. Would I be the bad guy if I had Spy Hunter and in the video game Spy Hunter? For those of you, this is old school. This is Gen X shit. And you pull out the blades out of your tires and you cut the tire and the guy goes swiveling. Would I be the bad guy? I don't think I would. I don't think a jury would convict me. Be like, he was going 120 miles an hour and then all of them would come in and say he was totally reckless. He deserved to be blown up by the bazooka. Do you see? This is what we need. We need cars outfitted with bazookas or RPGs. Solly. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell a story because I'm in a mood. I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell you the story that happened to me yesterday. In addition to the guy driving crazy. This is why I talked about good people and bad people. Now, I'm going to have to retract and actually go ahead and leave out parts of this. I'm going to have to, because I don't want to. Okay. Here's the reality. I went to go get lunch yesterday at a place down in Orange County, and it was there, great day, eating, watching football, having a good time. And there was a party. I'm not even gonna bring up what they look like. I'm not gonna bring up anything about anything other than people, because that's all that matters. It's about people. There was a party there that took over the entire restaurant. Like, I'm talking like at least half the restaurant. And I'm there and I'm watching, and I'm very observant, and I don't really always want to be. It's kind of like, it's not a great superpower because you want to just kind of be oblivious. And I'm watching what's happening. And every few minutes, this big group of people is demanding something else from the waiter. Okay? They're demanding, this isn't good. This isn't good. Bring me this, bring me that. They're treating the staff like they are, essentially slaves. And so, but what they were doing is watching is, this guy went as far as to eat some of the sandwich and then go like this and put it on the table and look at the waiter going, this isn't good. He ate half the sandwich. What I'm getting at is this. There are people in this world who do shit that is bad fucking news, and they make it worse for everybody else. And yesterday I experienced it at the restaurant because this poor staff was bringing these people food. And I'm not kidding you. I heard the conversation more than once, multiple times. The waiter was like, we already took it off the bill. First of all, if you have a bad meal, go ahead and complain. Get it taken off. That's fine. It happens once in a while. Does that happen every time? They were sending back, I'm not kidding you, maybe not half, but a lot of the food going, this isn't good. After it was half eaten because it was a fucking scam. They were literally getting 2 times the food and paying for half. These are bad people, right? And the fact that, again, society has these people who have no fucking moral code makes me furious. And I'm telling you, it took every bit of my fiber not to say something, because I was like, you guys are shitty people. I almost said that to the people. You're shitty people. Like, I don't know how else to put this. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. I've said this to people before. I told you the other day when I was in the movie and the person was talking and I go, shut up. I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy to fuck around with. If you're going to be an asshole, I'm going to call you out. Me taking a selfie at the end during the credits, fuck off. I will do what I want during the credits. It's over and people are walking out. Do not even bring that up. Don't play that game with me. Don't play it. But if you're going to be a dick in a restaurant, throwing food back, saying, I don't want this, and then literally using it, gaming it, right? Gaming it, driving 120 miles an hour, you're a bad motherfucker. And I'm telling you that I hope that karma comes and takes you motherfucker out. I really do. I'm not talking, I want you out. I don't want you sorted out. You need to be out. You need to be removed from society, because we cannot have a society where we have people doing shit like this and ruin it for everybody else. And until we get that accountability, I'm telling you, it's nothing. It's going to get worse and worse, worse and worse. A couple more comments about it. I want to talk about this stuff because it's important, right? It's big picture stuff. I know we just talked about movies, but I feel like in this space, we can talk about other stuff, because ultimately I feel like I have a pretty good finger on what is the right thing to do. I'm not saying I've always done it. I just said fuck off to Sean Baker, but I'm not going up to Sean Baker and punching him in the face. Okay. It's me talking shit. It is what it is. It's not doesn't make me a bad person. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Could I temper it? Yes. But again, it's not different. Don't bring those two things. They're not the same thing. Okay. Talking shit is not the same as being a literal shitty person in real life. Okay. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna listen, soup can. It doesn't even matter who it is. I'm just saying, because that's what I want to talk about. When I mention these things, it's about your actions, right? It's not about what you look like. It's your actions that define you. So if your actions are that of a shitty person, then I'm gonna say you're a shitty person no matter what your color of your skin is, right? You guys understand that, right? It's not going back to the evaluations of the film. I have never evaluated a film higher or lower based on the racial background of the director, the sex. Why would I do that? That's messed up. That's really messed up. I'm going to judge everything based on your actions, based on your talent, based on what I see in the product. It's because that's the reality of it. That was me, Kuzma. I made this thumbnail. Thank you. I do my best. Thank you. Oh my God, this is the hated moment from Eric in the credits. I'm not talking about. Let's talk about Batman 2, and then we'll get out of here. A couple more comments. I'm sorry. Because remember, this is a live show. As you guys know, you're watching either on X or YouTube. I appreciate you being here Sunday night, almost at 10 o'clock at night here in LA, 1 o'clock in New York. Here's the thing. Is that it's always live, man. This is now. I don't sit around and go, well, let's think about what I want to say. I just shoot. Okay. And I think most of my takes are pretty dead on. I'm not saying they're always right, like Thor: Love and Thunder, but most of it's pretty good. And I think I'm fair. And I think I would be a really good judge, right? Because I couldn't be bought. I always said, you should be president. I said, well, if I was president, I wouldn't last. They'd John F. Kennedy me. I'd be gone. Oh, yeah. They'd take me out. Because they'd be like, he doesn't play by the rules. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. And that's what the studios, they don't want. Why do you think the studios don't invite me to any of this shit? Because they know I'm trouble. They know I'm going to say that their film's terrible, and they don't want that. And people listen to what I have to say because I go hard. And no critic goes hard as hard to me. Nobody. Not even close. No one. They go hard on the films they're supposed to, like Madam Web, right? But they don't go hard on Anora. I mean, Neon loved me after I said Handling the Undead's one of the best films of the year. And now I destroy Anora and they hate me. And I get it. I went really hard on Anora. I'm not going to lie. I went really hard on James. That's James Gunn. I got James Gunn here. I went really hard on Sean Baker. Really hard. I'm not going to lie. I mean, that'd be bullshit for me to say I didn't go really hard on him. But it's fair. He doesn't have the talent to back it up. Not from a writing standpoint. No way. Not Anora. I would never. If that was my script, I'd be embarrassed. Straight up. If that was the script we wrote, I would be fucking embarrassed. I would be like, I don't want anyone to read this. And if someone read it, they'd say it's terrible. But because it's Sean Baker, it's good. I don't live in that world. I'm not going to live in that world. James Gunn defends the delay of Batman sequel. A 5-year gap or more is fairly common. So as you know, Matt Reeves, the Batman 2, is now going to be pushed to 2027. And it was 2022, so it's a 5-year gap. And James Gunn's like, listen, that happens. It's fairly common. Look, there was a 5-year gap between a lot of sequels. 7 years between Alien and Aliens. 14 years between Incredibles. 7 years between the first 2 Terminators. On and on and on. 6 years between Guardians 2 and 3. Listen, here's what I'll say. I don't care how long the break is. I don't even think we need to worry about what he has to say. He's the head of DC, I understand, but it's really simple. I want my director to take as long as it takes. If the director in this Matt Reeves, if he needs another year, if he says it's not ready, then you don't start. The problem Hollywood is they give him a date for a film and they say you have to hit this date. Well, here's the news. What if you're not ready? I almost didn't do tonight's stream because I was running around today. I was back at the beach today. Had a great day. It was a shitty day as far as weather, and I played terrible volleyball, but I had a fun day down there playing garbage volleyball. But here's the thing, is that I almost ran out of time to do the stream because I had to really kind of try to get it together with the different scenes and all that. It takes a little time. And I had to make the thumb. All the shit I just crushed out in like an hour because I got to get it done. But here's the deal. I'm doing a stream. I'm shooting the shit. It's live. I'm not shooting a movie. If I was shooting a movie, I'd be like, we can't shoot tomorrow. We can't do it tonight. I got to do maybe give me a week. I got to spend a week. I'm not ready because I am a procrastinator. The nice thing about the stream is it's live. I cannot procrastinate about breaking box office in the morning. And then the Sunday night show, I'm usually on between 8 and 9. And this tonight, same thing. I wasn't really ready, but I jammed it together as quick as I could. And I think if I missed something, it's because I was rushing. Because I was like, I got to go. But if you're making a movie, you can take as much time as you want as far as I'm concerned. If I'm James Gunn, if I am Zaslav, whoever's over at Warner Brothers telling Matt Reeves, you can do, I'm saying take as long as you want. The first one's very strong. I don't love the third act, but I still love the film overall. And from a filmmaking perspective, it's as strong as any film that year. But you look at, now, by the way, 2022, throw the Batman in there. That's better than a majority of films this year, without question. But you look at taking as long as you want. I don't know why these people think that we have to have it like tomorrow. Like, the fans need to shut up. Seriously, shut up, fanboys. You don't control this shit. Remember when it was all like, oh, save the Snyderverse and all the fanboys. It's like, listen, here's the deal. If I was the head of Warner Brothers or any studio, I wouldn't even listen to other fans. Shut up. I would even say that in a press conference. We don't listen to the fans. Now, the difference between me saying we don't listen to the fans and Disney, we don't listen to the fans, means they're going woke. I'm just saying we're going to make the best film. I don't need to hear your comments. Now, maybe you have something good, but ultimately, I'm going to make the decision I think is the best decision. I'm not going to listen to a bunch of whiny-ass nerds living in their parents' basement, right? No, don't do that. So when I am at the studio, I'm not going to care about what they say. And here's the reality. As you guys can tell, I'm not a guy who cares about what people think about me. So if I don't care about that now, do you think I'm going to care if I get to a studio head position? Of course not. It'd be even more. I'll be like, I don't give a shit about any of this. Because I told you guys, if I walked into a studio job and they said, hey, we need you to do X, Y, and Z. We need you to hire DEI. I always mention this because I would. If my first meeting of the day over at Warner Brothers as the head of creative was the person you hired to be the new advertising exec is not a DEI, I'd be like, I'm not going to have this conversation. Do you understand? We're not having the conversation. So if you want to have this conversation, and this is HR or something, I'm going to say, I'm going to walk out now. So do you want to do this or do you not? Because I'm walking out. I'm not going to do this shit. I told you guys we're going to hire the best person. I'm not going to play these games. So if you want to, it's old school. It's old school, right? It's old school. That's how Hollywood used to be run, by these studio heads who, frankly, a lot of them weren't that talented, but they were at least aggressive. Harvey Weinstein, rapist, piece of shit. But remember, we extract things from people that are right about anyway. O.J. Simpson, one of the best running backs ever, murderer, right? You guys understand. Chris Benoit, technical wrestler, one of the best ever, killed his wife and his son. Terrible. You guys understand, right? So we're taking Harvey Weinstein, the asshole, out from telling directors and people, because he did have a good sense of how to keep things under control. Look no further than a film from I love the film Killing Them Softly, right? Go back and look at that director. Every film has been like 3 hours. The one film that was 140, Weinstein, because he said, and by the way, Killing Them Softly is fucking awesome. Okay, it's a film that I love over time. Greg Fraser cinematography, really strong direction, dark film, really bleak but really strong. But it's 140. That's Weinstein saying, you got to make this film short. That's what I would love to do. I'd love to go in, not be Weinstein and all the rape shit. You guys, hey, Weber's saying shit that's crazy. Because I need to say that because there's going to be someone that cuts it out and goes, well, because these are the people that come after me. These people, these loser film Twitters, people that hide behind avatars. You need to explain. I said it a million times. I'm going to say it again. You understand what I'm saying, so don't pretend you don't. And I would come in and say, we're making this in 145. I'm going to give you 150, and that's your limit. Great example, go back to Everything Everywhere. If they show me Everything Everywhere, I'm A24, I'm saying this. Listen, the film I like. The problem is you're repetitive and it goes on for at least 25, 30 minutes too long. I want you to cut 30 minutes out of this. In fact, I want it to end before the repetition starts. So I really wanted it about 145, 150. That's my cutoff, and that's what you're going to do, and I'm walking out of the room. Thank you, Daniels. Goodbye. Out. There's not a discussion to be had because I'm right. And the reality is unfortunately we have people that are in positions like that who maybe try that shit, but they don't have the talent. Okay. You have to have the ability to know and then execute. That's the problem. If you're just trying to execute without the ability, then you have a problem. So if you put me in that position, I'm going to nail it almost every time. Will I make a mistake here or there? Correct. But I'm going to have a batting average like these reviews and the evaluations you see at 950 plus. So I'll take that. Okay, I'm going to take that. A couple comments for you. The Batman was the first. You're correct. That was the first. Go back and watch it. Go back and watch the first. Wait, who's not a real critic? I have no idea. I'm just kidding. Benoit. No. Why? Well, listen, because but you guys understand. It's a big adult conversation, right? To be able to extract elements from people who were bad people. Harvey Weinstein, as we mentioned, that's a great example. What I talked about. Benoit, for those you don't know, Chris Benoit was maybe the best I think he executed moves as viciously. He was the Wolverine, right? The Rabbit Wolverine. He executed like suplexes faster and more aggressively than anybody ever seen. He would snap. He just had excellence of execution, as they said about Bret Hart. Also, a Canada guy being Benoit. But Benoit went crazy, steroids, and he killed his wife and his son. And obviously, there's no justifying that. Duh. That's abhorrent. That is evil, all that. But again, in the ring, one of the best wrestlers ever. You guys understand that? See, you guys get it. These other people are weird. They don't understand how you can do that. You know how you can do it? You explain it and you say, I'm not going to let you say I can't do it. If you let people say you can only say these things, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to have to be forced into a straitjacket. I refuse to be put in a straitjacket, even though some would say I belong there. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to say what I need to say, and you're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to accept it because I'm not going to worry about what you have to say, because I'm not going to worry if you come after me. I'm just going to keep going forward, because I've told you guys, when I was at my lowest point back in 2015, 16, when I was depressed, when I wanted to not be here anymore, once you hit that rock bottom, do you understand that you can't fucking do anything to me? Do you get that? Because I want to explain something to you. You can't beat me. It'll never happen, because I have been to the bottom. And once you've been to the bottom, there's no stopping you ever. You're not going to care about what some whiny ass bitch on Twitter saying. I don't care. Another critic? Give me a break. I bury you every day. Every day that I wake up, I bury you further and further. I'm not worried about it. Okay. So when you take that mindset into the world, then you can do things because you're not worried about what people think about you. You're not worried about offending somebody, because I'm not trying to offend someone. Nothing I said is offensive. Everything I said is 100% dead on. Is it offensive to say Sean Baker made a shitty movie? And yes, it's slightly offensive to Sean Baker, but for you, you shouldn't care. You're not Sean Baker. So who cares? Why do you care? You shouldn't care. You know, and the stream's not for you. So what? No, it's not my deal. Yeah, the bazooka. No, it's not bottoms. No, the script is good. Let's see if I want to make sure I didn't get it. Listen, we've only been on for an hour and 20 minutes. Who else does an hour and 20-minute stream by themselves live? Does anybody? Like, usually it's gamers. I'm not even a gamer. I'm just, can I, because it's late and I've been on the stream. You guys want to see something crazy? Let's do it. I didn't know if I was going to do it, but this is the kind of thing that's going to get me in fucking trouble. But you're here. Let's go ahead and do it. The glasses are coming on. You know what time it is, everybody. I wasn't going to do it, but I think it's time to do it. It is time for MMT Gets Freaky. Get ready. Here we go. I'm going to show you one thing, and then we're going to get out of here. Give me 1 second. Google Earth. When I show you this, I just want you, all I want you to do, here's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to show you something, and all I want you to do is to tell me what you see. Okay? That's all I want to see. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to bias you. I'm going to show you something, and then you are going to, give me 1 second. I got it. Give me 1 second. Let me zoom out. Okay, here we go. Are you guys ready to see something wild? Okay. Listen, this is not okay, I don't want to see that. Let me get rid of some layers here. Give me 1 second. Let's get rid of, how do I get rid of layers here? I just want to make it straight up. I don't want to see anything. Okay, let's just look. Okay, I'm going to show you something. Don't leave. If you're here right now, I'm going to show you something, and I want you to tell me what you see. That's all I'm going to ask you. I'm going to show you something, and I want you to tell me what you see, everybody. We're going to spin the globe. Woo! Get ready. Oh, God. Oh, I just saw it. When you see it, you're not going to unsee it. I'm just going to warn you. If what I'm about to show you is going to change. I'm not kidding you. Some people left. That was the dumbest fucking decision of their life. What I'm about to show you is going to change the way you think about everything. I'm going to zoom in. Remember, I'm just asking you guys what you see. We're going south. We're going to South America. We're going down towards Antarctica. Let me see if I can spin this. What do you see on your screen right now? Let me get rid of the graphic. Can you guys see? Let me zoom in a little more. What do you see right there? Tell me what you see. Everybody come in. What do you see? What do you see right there, everybody? Come in and tell me. What do you see? Tell me what you see. Nope. What do you see? Yep. Yep. Let me show you something even fucking creepier. Okay, let me tell you. And this shit that's gonna get me. They're gonna ban my account when I do shit like this. But I'm gonna do it because I figure why not? Again, what are we looking at? We're looking at right in between South America and Antarctica. Okay. What is that? Okay, first of all, these are the islands. I want to get rid of that. How do I get rid of that? Layers. Give me a second. Let me see if I can get rid of it. There it is. Let me just get rid of it. No, I don't want to see borders. Clean. There it is. There we go. What do you see? Okay, now I want to show you something even crazier. I didn't say what it is, so you can't block me. You guys are saying it. I'm not saying it. So watch. So I'm going to take Google Earth and I'm going to go like this and watch. I'm going to zoom. What is that right there? What is that? Do you see? Tell me what you see right there on the left-hand portion. I'm moving the cursor around. Let me see if I can move it. What do you see right here? What do you see right here? But what in particular do you see right here where I'm circling? Let me zoom out a little bit. Right here, do you see where I'm moving? What do you see right there? What do you see right there? Because dude, I was looking around the other day and I was like, no, I see something different right there. I'm literally zooming in as close as possible. What is that? I didn't say it. You guys said it. Okay. Let me zoom out. Look what's right here. This is an island. So right here, is it fair to say that this on the left is mirroring what you see on the right? The only problem is we have an island and ice covering up an area there, so we can't quite see what's underneath. Do you see that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Now, let me finish this up by doing this. Do you guys notice what all of these are? You guys want to know, what do you think all those are? What do you guys think all those things are right there that you see the white? What do you think that is? No, you're close. What do you think it is? What do you think those white things are? Nope. 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 Those white things are active volcanoes. Active volcanoes. Look, let me click on one. See if we can go there. I don't know if I can go there. You zoom in. So this is each one of those is an active volcano. Some have not sprouted in a while. A volcano. Now let's roll back out and let's look. So let's put it all together. What do you see? And then why are there active volcanoes across the? Yeah. Just wanted to show it to you guys. That's all I'm saying. It's right there. I can spin it around as I roll out. I never, dude. And here's the thing: is once you see it, you can't unsee it. There's no way to unsee that. There's no way to unsee what I just showed you. So I'm just saying. I know that the overlords won't like what I'm doing, but I don't even care at this point because I'm just showing you. Because the shit's coming. The shit's getting real now. And dude, how do you not see that? That's all I'm saying. How do you not? There's no way not to see what I just showed you. And if you want to go further out, take a look at what we have. If that's the head, then what are we looking at there, right? If that's the head, what are we looking at? This way. What would it be? You tell me. What would that be? All that. What's all this area right here? Exactly. Nope. Listen, I'm not saying it's alive. I'm just telling you that you can't miss that shit once you see it. Dude, it's right there. Here's your homework. Go show that to someone tomorrow and ask them what they see. Well, you all saw it. I didn't need to even say it. I didn't say. I never said. I just told you there's active volcanoes. Yeah, but I'm saying, dude, this is right here on Google Earth. Dude, it's right. Look, spin it around. Let me rotate it because I can do my hands. So there's Argentina, right? There it is. So from the side, you're like, and then all of a sudden you go like this. You go, whoa, and you turn and you just go, wait a second here, bro. Look at that shit. I actually now want to go down there. Like, I want to go shoot a video there. If someone else does this, I remember I'm the guy who did it. I want to go shoot a video. I don't think they'd let you down there, though. Remember, Antarctica's like a no-go zone. Why do you think? What do you guys think? Listen, Life of Bri, I'm just going to tell you, go watch Mud Fossil University, but I'm just here to tell you. No, I don't know if that's true. Life of Bri, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. Because I just know that if this is a satellite image, it doesn't mean it has to be round. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. Remember this. Here's the reality, is that, remember what I said? I believe, whether it's, I don't know, round or whatever, here's what I believe. First of all, here's what you're going to say. You're going to say to me, how could something that big live on the Earth? Remember my theory. What if the Earth is merely one piece of one square of a graph paper? Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah, no, I understand. No, Donald, I get it, but you can make something look round. It could be a computer graphic. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying the world's flat. I'm just saying dude. I'm here to tell you. Remember what I told you guys. When I started to realize shit was going down, is once I realized COVID, I started to say there's some shit out there that we have not heard, and I'm just letting you know that, dude. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So there it is. There it is. All right. I'm not going to show you guys the planet. I don't have time tonight. It's over. I just wanted to show you. I just want to see what you said. I saw it. I didn't. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I have no idea. No idea what that is. I'm just saying it's there. It's weird, right? What a stream. I'm so tired. Fuck, I'm tired. But I figured might as well do it because it's like we've been here. We've been doing it. I'm good. My mullet's coming in nice. You guys see this? It's coming in nice back in the back. You see that? It's coming in really good. Pretty soon it'll be a full-on mullet. And I'll be back in 1990. I'll be Richard Marx. It'll be an amazing stream when we get there. We'll have the mullet celebration. It's closer and closer by the day. We'll do the best of the year, assuming we still have a stream. 2 days. If YouTube takes this down, it could be for any number of reasons, but I'm just letting you know that your job is to go ask someone, what do you see? That's it. The rest of it's fine. 1990. Too many. This terrible. Life of Bri, I just went through the film. Thanks for being here, guys. As always, we'll do the best of the year coming up on Tuesday, assuming that the world's still intact. We'll do that on Tuesday night, more than likely. New Year's Eve, because who goes out and celebrates? Hell no. We'll just sit here and chill and do like the best of. Watch lots of scenes and get demonetized. It's lots of fun. Thanks for being here live from Stevie Angels. If I missed any of your super chats, I don't believe I did, but if I do, let's see here. No, I think we're good. Thanks to anyone who does donate. It's always cool. It's not why we do it, but I appreciate it. Thanks for being here live from City of Angels. Good night. I'm going to bed. Good night. Peace out.